Hi, beautiful people. My name is Funke Akindele. Keep watching news. Pop, 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 pop.
Hi, lovers. So, like you already know, I'm all about your sexual pleasure and fulfillment. And in my last video, I gave some tips on how to make your sex life more pleasurable this year. But did you know that there are some things that can stand in the way of that? And I am going to be discussing those today. So don't go anywhere. You're welcome to Eve's Desire by Tiwa Says, and I remain your pleasure coach. So like I said, there are some things that can stand in the way of you having your best sexual experience this year. And one of those things is your sexual orientation. Yes, you heard me, your sexual orientation. And your sexual orientation is basically what you are attracted to or what you find attractive in the other person. And this attraction could be physical, it could be sexual, and it could be emotional. There are different types of sexual orientations. And I'm going to start with heterosexual. This is when someone is attracted to sex of someone of the opposite sex. That is like a woman being attracted to a man and a man being attracted to a woman. And most of the time, these people are called straight. So when they say a man is straight, a woman is straight, it means they are attracted only to the opposite sex. Then there's homosexual. Homosexual means that you are attracted to the same sex. So that means a woman is attracted to a woman and a man is attracted to a man. Then there is bisexual. Bisexual means that you are attracted to both sexes. So it means you are attracted to the opposite sex and you're also attracted to your gender. So a woman who is attracted to a man and also attracted to a woman. Then there is asexual. That is people who don't have any form of sexual attraction whatsoever, but they can be emotionally attached to someone. They can feel some form of emotional attachment, but no sexual attachment whatsoever. So it is important that you know where you belong before you go into a relationship. I'm an advocate for communication. You communicate. Before you go into a relationship in the first place, you should communicate with the person you are getting into the relationship with. Let the person knows your likes and dislikes, and most importantly, your sexual orientation. I know that a lot of people shy away from anything that has to do with sex, or things like that. But then it is important because it creates a problem in the relationship along the line. So when you are getting into a relationship, have a discussion with this other person. Okay, this is what I am. This is how I am. Okay, I am heterosexual. I am straight. I am only attracted to people of the opposite sex. Or no, I'm bisexual. I like both sexes and all. It is important you have this conversation so that, the other person can decide whether they are going to go ahead with it, because you might be discussing with someone who is also bisexual, and you are bisexual, so that can flow. But if you are bisexual and then you are having a discussion, or you want to get into a relationship with someone who is heterosexual, there's going to be a problem along the way, because you being bisexual, you will not be sexually fulfilled, because you will still be attracted to your gender, even though you are having the best of times with this person who is the opposite gender, but you still be craving your gender, because it is just your attraction, it is what you are attracted to. So this sexual orientation thing might seem insignificant to some people, like, okay, and it is different from you having a kink or a fetish. That is not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about your sexual attraction. So it is really, really different, because it means that it is something or someone that you are sexually attracted to. So if you are homosexual and then you are in a relationship with someone who is heterosexual, it will not work. And you find that this happens a lot these days, because a lot of people who are homosexuals, they are still in the closet, even though there's a lot of information about it and all that, and some countries are legalizing and all that, but people still feel some kind of shame towards it, so they don't want to come out. So they are in the closet and they don't want either their family members or their friends to know that they are homosexual. So they pretend and live another life, and decide to go into a relationship with someone who is heterosexual just to cover up, just to show that, okay, or maybe to fulfill societal values or family values and then go into a relationship with someone of the opposite sex, maybe for the purpose of marriage or for the purpose of having kids, or just to please other people. And then you get into this marriage, and in the marriage, the person you are married to realizes that, because there's going to be a problem. Either you are not going to be having exciting sex, or you are not even going to be having sex at all, because you are really not sexually attracted to this person. You are attracted to your own gender, but because you just want to save face, you just go into it. And this is the problem that a lot of people find themselves in these days. And then I mentioned also that if you are bisexual and then you are getting in a relationship or getting married to someone who is heterosexual, there is still always going to be a problem, because there will continue to be a craving for what you really want. Then the worst of it is if you are asexual. That means you are not even interested in sex whatsoever. You are only interested in emotional attachment. Yes, you can be emotionally attached, but sex is just a no for you. Then why go into a relationship with someone? Why go into a relationship with someone who is heterosexual, someone who likes sex, and then along the line, I don't feel like, I don't want this. Why don't you have a discussion in the first place? Like, okay, this is how I am. I don't really like sex, I just like this. I just like that. I want to believe that for every type of person, there is another there's an equal person. Like, there's someone for each person. So if you're asexual, there are other people who are asexual as well. And then if you are bisexual, there are a lot of bisexual people around these days, Just find your type and stick to your type, and don't go looking where you don't belong. So if by any chance you find yourself in any of these situations that I've mentioned, the first thing to do is to communicate. I'm an advocate for communication. Communicate with your partner. Sit your partner down. Go back to the drawing board. Find a way to resolve this issue. And the only way to resolve, when I say resolve, it depends on the two parties, Assuming that you are a bisexual and then you are dating someone who is heterosexual, have a discussion with your partner. Let your partner know that, okay, this is the way it is. You swing both ways, you're attracted to both male and female. If your partner is interested, your partner can decide. If your partner decides, okay, I want to stay with you, okay, we can work around this. There are different ways to work around it. People do a lot of stuff these days. People do threesomes, people swing, so you can still do that and still be together. But if your partner is one who is not even interested at all, then I'm sorry, it might not work, and you cannot force it. It is better not to be in a relationship at all than to be in one that it is not working. So have a discussion with your partner. If there's a way to go about it, fine. But if you are a homosexual and then you are in a relationship with someone who is heterosexual, how did you even get there in the first place? You shouldn't even be in that situation in the first place, because even before you got into it, you knew that it wasn't going to work. And that is my problem with some people. From the get-go that, I'm just getting into this just to save face. And that is not fair on the other party, because that other party is not aware of that. And then when you now get into it, especially if it's a marriage, you now get into the marriage and then the person has expectations, sexual expectations, and then you are not fulfilling it because you are not even attracted to the person in the first place. You are attracted to the same gender, but you fool this person into getting into marriage, with you, and now the person is, not enjoying it at all. So I'm going to advocate here. I'm going to beg. If you are a homosexual, please find other homosexuals. There are lots of platforms, groups and all that these days. You can meet someone of your liking, or someone who is like you, who is of a like mind. Just go with the flow, go with your kind of person. Do not, and if you are bisexual, look for someone who is also bisexual, who swings both ways. And if you are asexual, please do not go to someone who is interested in sex. And I am sure that if we abide by these tips that I'm giving you, everybody is going to enjoy a pleasurable and exciting sexual experience this year. And you can come back to thank me later. So if you have enjoyed this video, why don't you click the like button and also subscribe so that you can get notifications for our future videos. And I'll be seeing you.